Champions on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Zimbrick European. Also, University Ridge Golf Course, Ridge Top Exteriors, Wisconsin.Golf, Cleary Building Corp., and Nevada Bobs. Now from the new home of TPC Wisconsin in Madison, here are the hosts of Talking Golf. Member of the Wisconsin Golf Hall of Fame, the legendary Dennis Tiziani. Longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Braun. And Wisconsin sports veteran and statewide radio host Mike Heller.
Welcome to another edition of Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin. Along with Dave McCann, our engineer, Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller. I'm Paul Brown. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. I'm not sure about the Stricker family, whether they had a happy day on Memorial Day, but they certainly had a great weekend. And Steve Stricker is with us, and 56 starts on the PGA Tour Champions, 14 wins, 6 majors, leads the Senior Tour in 17 different categories. That's just, guys, unbelievable. Steve, I want to talk just briefly about the playoff hole and your thought process on that hole, and kind of take us through what you were thinking, and especially when he hit that 285-yard wood right there to about 16 feet.
Yeah, it was, it was a quirky hole. There really wasn't a lot of room to drive it. They both, Stewart Cink and him, hit great drives in regulation. And they were barely in the fairway on the right-hand side. So it was a very difficult hole. I tried to drive it there one day, hit it in the hazard. There was just not a lot of room there. So, and I really wasn't going to go for it in two. So the playoff was, where I just was going to stick to my game plan, hit this utility club up there and lay up with a 6-iron and then wedge it on there. And it helped, I guess, knowing that he hit it in the hazard. But then when he hit that 5-wood from 285 in there to 16 feet, I mean, I was trying to stuff my wedge and make a birdie and get out of there. And I hit nice wedges, but not, as close as I've been hitting them, and then really hit kind of mediocre putts, really. But he kind of gave it to me there in that playoff, and we'll take it. You get some that way and you lose some that way. So it was just a great week for us, Izzi, being with me, and we had a lot of fun and memories that we'll hang on to for a lifetime.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Steve, thanks for jumping on with us. It's Mike Heller talking to you. Let me ask you one more question about the finish, and then I want to talk about Izzi being with you. When you go to the 72nd hole, when you're playing 18 at the end of regulation, is your mindset, it's not match play yet, but it's almost match play, knowing where you are and that Patty's in your group, and then is the 73rd hole, the playoff hole, that's match play. Does it change the way you approach it?
Yeah, coming down the stretch, it was just really the two of us for the last 4 or 5 holes. And I really had, I'm excited that I won, don't get me wrong, but I look back at the opportunities I had to really put a nail in the whole tournament and shut the door on them. And I had some really nice makeable putts, and I didn't do that. And that grinds on me today, even though that I won yesterday.
Right.
But it shouldn't have come down to that in my mind. It shouldn't have come down to that playoff, because I really did have some opportunities there to just shut the door. And they get harder and harder as the older we get, I think. And but it's a match play scenario, especially because Stewart Cink was kind of out of it. He was about 5 shots back, and and the course showed some teeth yesterday. It was breezy. The pins were in some difficult positions. Some of the holes, some of them were easier, but some of them were pretty difficult. So you had to pay attention, and there were, bogeys and doubles lurking around out there just because the severity of the hazards right around the green and off the tees. There was a lot of hazards, so you just really had to pay attention to what was going on.
Steve, I was really curious as we were watching throughout the weekend how your demeanor or your approach to the tournament was changed at all, if at all, by Izzi being your caddy.
I don't know. I think I was pretty relaxed. You know, you'd have to ask her that same question when
we will.
she gets on here. But
we're gonna.
Yeah, I felt like I stayed pretty even keel all week long. You know, there were a couple swear words that came out of my mouth that I told her to plug her ears on. But for the most part, it was pretty good, pretty even temperament all the way through, and I was playing solid, so there wasn't really any need to kind of get irritated, I don't think. And I did a lot of good things again, and I made some putts off and on, and you know, it was a challenging course because we haven't played there before. So anytime you go around a new facility like that, you're trying to get the lay of the land, and it takes a few days, you know, to get comfortable on where to hit it, where the misses are, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to have her on the bag. We had a great time, and like I said, memories that we'll never forget.
Steve, I was talking with Bobbi a little bit earlier today about her segment coming up later in the show on women's golf and that kind of thing, and she made the comment about caddying and Izzi. She said two things that she remembered. She said, number one, it was a great learning experience for her to caddy on the tour like that in terms of her game and that kind of thing. But she said the other thing is I was used to playing family golf where we're playing for fun. And all of a sudden she realized this is serious stuff out here.
Little different.
Yeah, for sure. It is. It's, you know, we play a lot of casual golf together. I mean, obviously, I've played a lot of tournament golf over the years, but these girls haven't yet. You know, Bobbi is very new into the game. You know, I was just thinking, I don't know if she's played 25, 30 events in her whole career already, so she hasn't played that much. Same with Izzi. You know, she plays high school golf, you know, throw in maybe 5 or 6 tournaments in the summertime, but it's not a lot of reps. So, yeah, anytime we can get them out there and they can see what I go through and they can learn from that just by being there. And I remember Nikki, when she first started caddying for me, her game got better just by watching other players, not necessarily me, but just anybody we play with in the group, you know, you can learn from. And so it's a big, you know, it's a good learning curve to be inside the ropes and get up close and personal and watch some of these guys how they play.
Steve, I think you have Izzi with you. We want to say thank you for spending some time with us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. But if you've got Izzi, can we talk to her for a minute or so?
Oh, yes, right here.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Steve. Hi, Izzi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, my question to you is are you going to do that again, or is that a one-time, like, that was it? I'm not doing it again. I think Grandpa asked you, and you said your rate went way up. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating, should I retire? I have a 100% win rate, so that's pretty good. But also, if he asked me back, I would totally do it again. I had so much fun, and it was a physical and mental test even for me, but like I said, it was so fun. We had such a good time. We were serious, but we took it lightly at some points, and yeah, I'll never forget that.
Izzi, what did you learn from the experience? What did you take away from the whole weekend?
I learned a lot on how my dad handles his mental game along with the other players too. I see his physical game all the time, but I don't get to experience his demeanor inside the ropes. I've never seen that in a tournament setting. So I learned how he uses his mistakes as motivation instead of beating him down. It doesn't go one on top of the other mistakes. He uses it as motivation and doesn't take it to the next hole. I mean, he complains maybe for 30 seconds, but it kind of lights his fire under his butt. And he uses it for motivation, which I thought was a pretty key takeaway.
Last thought from me, and then we'll let you guys go. Izzi, I'm watching when they showed shots of you guys on the tee, and you're making full notes in your yardage book, too. Like, just technically, what was that comparison, and what did you do, maybe learn from how your dad handles the book as you're playing?
Yeah, we didn't really talk through shots that much. He's not really verbal out there. I don't know if that was because it was me or if he's like that all the time, but I just got the yardages. We actually got to use the rangefinder this week, which was really helpful for me. We do the yardage book and then double check it, but it was really no different than what I do in my tournaments. Like I get what it is to the front, what it is to the pin, check the wind, all that, and he does that too. But the one thing I noticed is that he really knows his distances and what he carries things, and I realized I need to fine-tune that a little bit more in my game. But I wouldn't say it was a whole lot different. But like I said, he didn't really talk through shots with me, which I didn't really take offense to.
You know, Izzi, we've noticed throughout the years, Dad's really emotional. Did that skip a generation, or do you have that same level of emotion?
Oh, no, I got teary-eyed when he won.
Okay.
I didn't show that on camera, though. I was trying to hide that.
Izzi, that's what my last question was going to be, because all of us are watching television in the first playoff hole, and Podrick did what he did, and we're thinking, oh, man, this is cool. He's going to win the tournament. Then all of a sudden, you're standing up by the green. He hits a 285-yard shot, 16 feet. You're standing there. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, I thought we had it, and I was like, oh, wait, maybe not.
Oh, we appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, thanks, Izzi. Appreciate
I
this.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Izzi.
That's pretty good. You know, we avoided the difficult question, and that is payment, right?
10% is
we don't
what,
want to talk
60?
about that.
Wait, oh, yeah. We're just going to walk right by that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Take care, Izzi. Thank you.
You should ask my dad that
Yeah,
one.
we should have. Yeah,
We'll lobby for you, Izzi. We will do that.
Thanks, Izzi.
Take care, Izzi. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well, we heard the Stricker family feels. How does Grandpa feel? I mean, you look at that weekend, it's crazy, huh?
Well, it really was. But, he was prepared, because we spent some time here a little bit before he went there, and you could tell he was on it, I think he's realizing that maybe he's got the edge on these players.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though they can hit the ball far, so can he. But he's got the edge on him from 100 yards in, no question about it. That he beats him up pretty good on. He's won those tournaments. He won 4 or 5 of them by 6 shots.
5 tournaments by 6 shots each time.
Dennis, I'm curious. You have said, and I had this line either last week or the week before, that you have to get comfortable. We were talking about Bobbi. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. Steve's
mental game, obviously, after all of this test of time, is at the highest of highs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious as to what a huge opportunity that was for Izzi to see over 4 rounds how Dad, the best Champions Tour player on the planet, how he works his game and what benefit that is to a 17-year-old daughter.
Well, they're very much the same. They're anal on stuff. If you see, when they make a trip, if you see Bobbi's suitcase, just throws the stuff in there, right? You see Izzy's suitcase, it's all folded. Underwear, shirt, and everything else. You see Steve, when he goes no matter where, it's all lined up. Whether we go hunting, whatever we're doing, totally different. He's anal when it comes to that. If you've ever seen, well, you probably haven't, he makes caricatures out of matchsticks. Beautiful stuff. So his vision, his view of ups and downs, of how to play around the green, totally different than everybody else. Even when we were building the course here, he was the guy that took over on the surrounds and how the green should be and how this should be and that should be. And before we left, we went out on 10. And I said, it's going to be hard for our members to hit it. I said, yeah. He said, but look at right here. Now look in the front where we've got this right here. It looks like a green. It looks like a green should be here. So already, here you go. You know, he had a different, but he has a total different view of how to play the game. Ball flight, totally different. You watch sometime how he chips it and keeps it down, or he hips it high. He gives up his driver an awful lot for that 290-yard 3-wood, you know.
Yeah.
So, and he's not going to change his plan. He's not going to be that. Now, that being said, if we go hunting together, and we're going to find Larry, my brother, you know, they're there, and he's at the bottom of the tree, and all of a sudden Steve is talking. He's up there in a tree, and Larry puts up one finger. Well, that means that's what the first time. No, just wait for a while. Well, maybe we should put this stand over here, 2. And then maybe we should do this, 3. So, I mean, he's that way, you know, even deer hunting, how that should be. Yeah. And then his success rate is pretty good.
Before we take a break, I got one for you, and I know you don't have the answer, but if you were a betting man, with the success that he's having, and the type of year that he potentially could have, and hunting and fishing, and we all know the story when it gets around to September and stuff, he's turned down a lot of things where he could have gone. You think he might play more based on the success he's having this year?
I don't know. I think that I know that he thinks he can play on a big tour. And he can. But this is kind of easy here, you know, so to speak. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he gets around these here pretty good. You know, he drives at just the right distance, and like I said, his short game, and where he's leading all those categories. I think that he, you know, our priorities that we deal with, faith, family, education, golf, you know, that's the way it is. And don't mix it up. And his faith and family are first. He doesn't mix them up. That's what's going to dictate what he's going to do. That's what makes him as good as he is. And I heard on the that one of the commentators mentioned Hall of Fame. So they're thinking about it. Now, he's not won a major. I think they were going to throw that out before too long, having to win a major, because if he's not a Hall of Fame member, I don't know. Right? I don't know who is.
I tell you what, we have a new segment we're going to do. In fact, it's coming up after the commercial break. We're just going to have a topic of the week, and we're on the topic of the week this week. We're going to start with a little bit about the history of the golf ball, but in the very near future, we're going to have a special conversation exactly about that on should he be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll get any disagreement up here. But
no, well,
it's a pretty simple answer.
And
come on.
We'll be back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin after this timeout.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. Whether you're looking for your first Cleary building or your fourth, your happiness is still priority one. The Cleary experience is about making your building process exciting and stress-free. Contact Cleary today to set up a free consultation and let your Cleary specialist design the building of your dreams with our DreamMaker 3D software. Experience ClearyBuilding.com today.
Cleary built with pride before the shamrock supplied.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work, focus, and love of the game. It's no different for Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com. Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Looking for new equipment? TPC Wisconsin has a team of certified fitters that have been ranked top 100 club fitters by Golf Digest, Titleist, Ping, and Mizuno. TPC Wisconsin fitters use science, art, technology, and ball flight to determine the best equipment for your swing. To schedule your private fitting experience, contact Dylan Parisi at 608-249-1000. Learn from the best. Get better. Only at TPC Wisconsin. Talking golf at TPC Wisconsin, along with Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller. I'm Paul Brown, and our topic of the week. By the way, also on the show tonight, Travis Becker, Director of Golf, will be on, and we're going to talk about club fitting for the driver, the club that everybody wants to make sure they have the right club fitting. And also on tonight, taking a look at women's golf, Bobbi Stricker will be on a little bit later. But right now, guys, I just picked three things quickly that we can talk about to just have a little fun. Part of it is the history of the golf ball, okay? Let me give you a quick summary. In '72, Spalding introduces a two-piece ball. It was the top flight distance ball. 2000, we move forward. Tiger signs with Nike, solid core ball with urethane cover. He wins 7 of his first 9 tournaments. Titleist comes out with the Pro V, solid core and urethane ball. In 2 weeks, more than 100 pros were using that particular ball. TrackMan got involved in 2003, a Doppler radar-based launch monitor, which helps optimize launch conditions. The averages by the players obviously going up. In 2004, the USGA implements rules restricting club head size and face springness. Now, the USGA sends an email to ball manufacturer prototypes. They want the ball to fly 15 to 25 yards shorter. That was done in 2005. And now in 2023, the USGA and the RNA announced a proposal for model local rule that can be applied to elite competition starting in 20 to 26. The rule would roll back distance that the ball travels 15 to 20 yards. Guys, Dennis, what do you think? Should they do it?
I've never really heard anybody wanting to hit the ball shorter.
Me neither.
Everybody wants to hit it further. Now, there's I think some of those things you mentioned with the ball being solid and everything. When I played, you were able to use a different ball. So on a par 3, I always played a top flight because it would fly 2 to 3 clubs further. But what they're not talking about is that same ball that they're making with the hard cover and the solid stuff comes off your putter different. There's a big difference in a soft-covered ball putting and a hard ball putting. Years ago, let's go back, there was a thing called a Pro Blue. I mean, it had, where it was a 90 or 120, how they measured them. Well, this Pro Blue was like 55. But that ball would stick to your putter and you can roll it. It didn't explode off the putter. So back on your question, I'll give you a little bit added history. I don't know. I know if they do it, the average player will play whatever the pros play. It won't take very long before that's what they will do. But I've not, everybody that I teach wants to hit it further.
Well, but my question would be on that is if in tournament play for the pros on the tour, if they took, what are we talking about, 5% off the flight? If you're talking about a 300-yard drive and take 25 yards off, I don't know what the math is, it's like 7%. If you were doing that, why would I want to do that? If I'm hitting my driver 260, why would I want to hit a driver that goes 240?
Well, and to your point, the same guy that drives it 15 to 20 yards past everybody else is going to be 15 to 20 yards past everybody else. So you're not going to The guy that, if he hit a 7-iron, now he's going to hit a 5-iron. And the big player, instead of hitting a pitching wedge, hits a 7. I mean, I don't know how.
But the push on this is for course design, right? Because courses have been made at sometimes obsolete. The designer that designed the bunkers to be there, now those bunkers aren't in play off the tee, so they're figuring they got to add tee boxes going further back because you're not going to move the bunkers. Is that really the source of the ball distance issue?
That's a lot to it because it's cost a lot of money to
Sure.
do this, as you know. But I don't see where that's going to help anything.
Do you think he'll do it at all?
Oh, yeah. The pressure's on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The pressure's on to go and do this. Pressure's on from people who are hosting tournaments and hosting. I mean, they're driving it on these greens. You just saw it. 285 carried it with a 5 wood.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference there. But there's a big difference in the player. There's a huge difference in the shaft. But a bigger difference in that player is hitting the ball. Because you go back, there's still some of those guys who are playing, they're still binking it out there, 250, 255. But now you got this guy, Padraig, 330. He's hitting the ball 330. I mean, Steve is nothing for him to hit it 305, 310. So I just think it's going to make the course longer for somebody else. I just don't believe there's going to be that big of a difference.
I got 2 more real quick that we'll go through. Rangefinders. In the PGA, both in the Champions Tour and the regular Tour, they let them use rangefinders. Why don't they use rangefinders all the time, or don't let them use them at all?
Yeah, this weekend they allowed them to use, right? So it's not a constant thing. Right. And I brought this up earlier, and Dennis, this is where I would defer to you absolutely. I don't know what the issue is. I know that there's math involved in reading your yardage book and understanding slope and all the elements to it, but that's quicker. And I'm using pantomiming using a radar gun or the distance rangefinder to see how far you are. So are we really losing something if they allow them to use a rangefinder?
Do you know how many people can hit it as far as it is?
Sure.
I mean, to say it's good that you know it. It's 180. How many people do you know? And Izzi brought it up. She, what she brought from her dad. His distance control. We talked about that all the time. His distance control is the thing because his swing is built with no spin. He hits it the same distance. It doesn't roll over, but his distance control. So to know how far it is a great thing.
Yeah.
If nothing more, it gives somebody a thing to know, like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Out there, for the most part. I mean, how many people know what they hit how far?
But you don't have a problem with using the rangefinder. I don't either.
Okay.
Oh, we got it on our golf cars.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to have it.
Yep.
Okay, here's the fun one, I think. For every golfer, should you give or take gimme putts?
Who gets the answer first?
All
right, let me go first because I don't know where he sits on this. I don't want to be on his bad side, but if I am, so be it. If you're playing out here on the weekend and if I got a $5 Nassau going with my guys, they play inside the leather. Why do we do that? Because you want to keep pace of play. You don't want to have all these people marking the ball at 2.5 feet. So he's already disagreeing with me. So I don't mind the in the leather, but I do play with a lot of guys who just eyeball it and say that's good. Well, I don't want to eyeball it and say that's good, unless it's my putt, if we're playing for a couple of bucks.
What if you're not playing for money?
Oh, he's scratching his head now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All
right. What do you got?
Finish the hole.
Just
tap it in. What you're doing is you don't want to go to the next tee and think that you're a poor putter because you missed a 2-footer. I mean, that's really what it is. Finish the hole. That's what it's made to do. Did you hole out? Because where does that go? Now what do you do when you got that 20-foot putter?
But you as a golf course owner, you don't want all these guys marking their ball 2 feet out, so that guy, because he's 3 feet out, because now you got a pace play issue.
Finish. Don't stand in his line. If you're not standing in his line, finish. Leave the pin in and putt it. I mean, get rid of it.
I think good luck to Dennis.
Yeah, I'm not going to get him on this. That's okay.
Hold it out,
We'll be back with Travis Becker on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin after this time out.
Oh, that's good.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and Max are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.golf. Visit Wisconsin.golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.golf and Talking Golf on the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi,
on TV
or Porsche.
And what you
more
hear
safety,
about him
performance, and
all
luxury,
true.
and
Every
way more
word,
fun.
every
And getting
word,
more
down to
costs
earth,
less than you
nicest
think.
guy.
Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
We're back at Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin, along with Travis Becker, who's Director of Golf here at TPC Wisconsin. I'm Paul Brown, and Travis, we're going to talk about driver fitting here in just a moment, but after the weekend, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, like everybody else that follows the Stricker family, what a special weekend, huh?
Unbelievable, so happy for him and the way he's been playing all year, and to do it with Izzi, his daughter, on the bag, that's just icing on the cake. And
you watch him, he's got 14 championships now on the Champions Tour. That's unbelievable.
It is. He's got to be ranked up there as one of the best for sure.
What kind of a guy is he? You've dealt with him over the years.
What you see on TV and what you hear about him is all true. Just
every word, isn't it?
Every word. Down to earth, nicest guy you would ever meet.
And I bet it was a learning experience, too, for Izzi, don't you think?
I'm sure. I'm sure they got quality time together, and she learned a little bit about Dad as well.
Well, Travis being Director of Golf, and one of the things we're going to chat about here on the show on the Memorial Day program is driver fitting. Everybody wants their driver fit, don't they? Is that really the number one club that people look at to get fit?
I would say yes. Everybody's always looking to hit the golf ball further. Maybe the putter should be the most important club to get fit, but definitely the driver is. It's fun to hit. It's fun to. How far can I go?
Yeah, and we'll chat about that in just a moment, but somebody made that reference to me one time. People spend $400 or $500 on a driver, and I was looking at a Scotty Cameron putter, and the putter cost over $400. And I looked at it and I go, this is ridiculous that you would have to pay that much for a putter. And the person said to me, Paul, think about it. You'll pay for the driver, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, how many times do you use that driver? Well, maybe 12, 14 times around. How many times do you use your putter? I go, I get your point.
Yep. Yep.
So what do you do? Let's say I wanted to get fit for a new driver, or at least test the driver that I'm using now. If you were to come out to TPC Wisconsin and you're part of that, being involved in the training center, what would happen? How would it work?
Sure, we would start with an interview process, get some of your history with your current gamer in your bag. Is there any dislikes? Is there a direction that you miss it? Do you hit it too high? Does it hit the ground and stop? So we like to ask some of those questions. We have you loosen up with maybe an iron, and then we'll start with your current driver and get some of the numbers like ball speed, launch angle, backspin, descend angle, look at your dispersion pattern, and then we'll put some different clubs in your hand. And it's kind of a trial and error process. Your job as the golfer would be what looks good to you, what feels good to you, what sounds good to you. Then our job as the fitter is the data, the ball flight, getting the numbers correct.
That sounds a little bit complicated and maybe even a little bit confusing, but it's really not that difficult of a process, is it?
It's not. When you go through it, it's eye-opening. And we keep it simple, so you walk away and you understand everything that we're telling you. But, we're looking for results. And how can we beat the club that you have in your bag? Whether it's longer, it's straighter, we're looking at all those factors that go into it.
And I know every situation, every player is different, but is there a couple of common denominators that you find in people that are being fit for a driver?
I would say some of them have maybe clubs that are too long, or maybe clubs that are too stiff, or not the right loft. I mean, it goes across the board. When you've done thousands of fittings, you kind of have seen it all.
Uh-huh. And in terms of, I had one person that you guys worked with, Dylan apparently worked with. His name is Bill Cunningham. He's a member here at TPC Wisconsin. He was really impressed. He started, as you mentioned, with his driver. He said he went through 5 or 6 other drivers. You guys took a lot of time. And the bottom line was, his club was still the best.
Sure. Then no need to replace it. We're not here to sell you a driver unless it makes sense to put in the bag. And it's got to outperform the one you got.
And in terms of the different types of drivers, the different types of shafts and all of those kind of things, you look at your setup and you think, wow, how am I going to determine which one of these I need? I know the process does this, but I guess what I'm saying is you have all the equipment that's necessary to make it the right decision for that person.
We do. We have all of the fitting tools, we have the technology, and then we have the experience. So putting those things together and being able to see the actual ball flight, we can dial in your fitting.
And how long does that process take approximately?
About 45 minutes to an hour to do the driver.
And any other things that you would like to say about people that want to come in and get fit for a driver? What am I missing on what we've talked about?
No, definitely. Our doors are open, and anybody looking for more distance or more accuracy, or just want to check their current driver, we would love to take them through a club fitting.
And there are different brands that they potentially can buy in a new driver and that kind of thing. So you're not particularly steering them towards, say, Titleist, for an example.
No, the consumer will hit all of the brands that we have. And like we said, we cannot tell them what looks good, feels good, or sounds good. And we'll see multiple times where someone will come in for a Titleist and they leave with a Ping, or they come in for a TaylorMade and leave with a Titleist. So until you actually go through the process and compare them head to head as the golfer, you can make that best decision.
And speaking of decisions, if I wanted a driver that went further or went straighter, which one do you think the average person would pick?
That's a good question. Most people want longer distance, but I would also tell you there's a lot of guys out there that just say, I want a fairway finder.
Yeah.
Sick of looking for balls.
Why is a 3-wood so difficult to hit? It seems like that, for me, that's the most difficult club in the bag.
It's a little longer, and it has less loft, and you got to take it off the ground. So it's a little different than being teed up. So that extra speed and that less loft, it's harder to get the golf ball up in the air.
Travis Becker, Director of Golf at TPC Wisconsin. But again, the Learning Center, the thing that you're involved with, that is really progressing, and it's growing every day. You can see it, right?
Correct. Yep. We have a full-time club fitter on our team that specializes in this on a day-to-day basis, and he's one of the best, Dylan Parisi, so we're happy to have him on our team. And Matt Kennedy, our head professional, does fittings. I do a lot of fittings, so we're all in it every day.
Do you fit left-handers?
Sometimes.
Thanks a lot, Travis.
You bet.
We'll be back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin right after this timeout.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
TPC Wisconsin houses a world-class golf instruction, coaching, and club fitting experience. Golfers have year-round access to our award-winning coaches and club fitters, state-of-the-art technologies, and PGA Tour quality facilities. If you'd like to learn more about junior and women's golf, private instruction, group coaching, or business clinics, please contact Travis Becker at Becker at tpcwisconsin.com. Learn from the best. Get better only at TPC Wisconsin.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work, focus, and love of the game. It's no different for Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com. Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Hey neighbor, nice mower.
Hey, Sean Cleary. Yep, we really love it. But it takes up so much space in the garage.
I think I can help with that.
Bill's home with his giant work truck that takes up the entire driveway.
You know I can help with that. We are here for every stage of your life. Head to ClearyBuilding.com today.
Sean?
I can help with that.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.golf. Visit Wisconsin.golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.golf and Talking Golf on the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Back with you on Talking Golf. I'm Mike Heller along with Paul Brown and Dennis Tiziani. No Gary D'Amato. We give him the holiday off. No sparring with Dennis tonight.
It's okay with me.
Probably okay with Gary, too, don't you think, Mike?
Yeah, it might be. He'll be back with us a week from tonight. We welcome in Bobbi Stricker because we've had the whole family on. What's Nikki doing in the final segment? We need to get Nikki on because we've had everybody else. Bobbi, thanks for spending some time with us. I'm just curious what you thought of what your little sister Izzi got to go through this weekend. You've done that before, but what were your impressions of what a fantastic weekend that she got to go through?
I'm so excited for her. I haven't seen her in a few weeks, and I didn't get to talk to her a ton since the weekend and then when she won. So I'm so excited to hear all the stories that she has. I'm sure she has some funny ones also. So, yeah, it was super cool to watch. They obviously showed them a ton on TV, so got to see it. And, yeah, I'm so happy for them both.
I was wondering what you thought her biggest challenge was going to be and then what your first questions will be with her when you guys get a chance to talk.
Yeah,
talked to her about the physical part a little bit already, so I know she obviously made it through that part. But I'm really excited to pick her brain about like how my dad was out there, especially like trying to win not just a tournament but a major. So I'll be curious to see if she has any like cool insight on just how he was, his emotions. He doesn't talk a lot about that stuff in general, so I'll be curious to ask her about that.
Bobbi, did you get a chance to watch any of it? And if you did, what were your thoughts as they entered the playoff there?
Yeah, I watched the last maybe 6 holes or so, and then obviously the playoffs, and was nervous for one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it's cool. They talk a lot about it on there, but just I give a lot of credit to my dad and just how he plays his game. And I'm starting to appreciate a lot more what he does in general in golf since starting my professional journey. And it's just, they talk a lot about it. Padraig played that 18th hole way different than my dad did. And it's just, my dad stayed true to his game and what he's confident in, and that's his wedges. And didn't let, Padraig and what he was doing kind of get under his skin, just kind of stayed true to what he does. And like I said, that stuff just kind of rings louder in my brain now that I am doing my own pro thing. So I guess, and yeah, it was just really fun to watch. And he makes golf look way too easy.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we've seen that for a long time. Bobbi, one quick one before we get into talking about the segment on women's golf, and that is one shot. Now, I bring that up not to, make it a bad thing, but you missed the cut this weekend on the Epson Tour by one shot. How does that work in you processing through that? Because that's frustrating, right? But how do you then make that into a positive?
Yeah. I talked to my grandpa the day it happened, and I told him I was like, missing the cut by one, I think feels a lot worse than missing the cut by a million. Yeah, it's obviously I can find one shot really quickly. I missed a lot of little putts. So we all know that each stroke means a whole lot, but I'm learning that really quickly in this whole deal that they really do. And yeah, it takes a little while. It takes a few days, but that was Saturday, and today is Monday, and I'm already in a new city of trying to prepare for the next tournament that starts Friday. So
love it.
You have to dwell on the really good things that I did, and I did a lot of really good things, and a few stupid ones. So just trying to, yes, I beat myself up a little bit over the last couple days, but try to flip that really quickly. And like I said, I played a lot of really good holes rather than a lot of really bad ones. So
we're chatting with Bobbi Stricker, and she's graciously agreed throughout the summer to do a segment on women's golf. Obviously, that's a key component in her life, and trying to develop more women to play golf and those kind of things. So we just kind of pick out a subject or an aspect of trying to promote women's golf and that kind of thing. Bobbi, you caught my attention. You obviously came from a golfing family, and yet in your high school days, you weren't a golfer. You were an all-state tennis player. And one of the things that you mentioned in terms of you playing more golf is, one of the things from a woman's perspective is you didn't have many friends that played golf, so you just didn't play, right?
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of those friends played tennis. I didn't really have a golf community that I was a part of, and yeah, like you said, I didn't have friends that played. Yeah.
How much of a problem is it in terms of generating interest for women to get involved in the golf and that type of thing when you were in your younger age and still are and that kind of thing? What do you think about that whole process, and what can be done to get more people involved?
Yeah, growing up, I was a part of, as a really little kid, I was a part of the junior stuff at what was called Cherokee, but now TPC Wisconsin. I was a part of the junior stuff, super young. And then, when I got into that high school age and really was all friends focused, there weren't a lot of kids in the area that played. So, and then the young adults, like my age right now, I think just, clubs creating, groups or like gatherings to just get young people together. I think that's a huge pull for golfers. Nobody wants to do it alone. It's not fun to play alone. And even if you're the kind that takes golf really seriously, it's still not fun to practice alone. So, creating fun events for those young people to get them all in at the golf course at one time, fun games. That was always, it is a huge pull for me, making golf, fun in a different way.
Bobbi, you mentioned the word fun a lot, and one of the things I saw from your grandpa who's sitting next to me is when my son took lessons from you for a bit, that as I'm watching that happen, how much fun, Dennis, you were making it for him, because one of the things about this sport, it's not always fun, right? And especially for young kids, they get bored with it fairly quickly. And there's not an athletic component running and jumping and to keep their attention. And I'm curious, Dennis, how you see that.
Well, that's all part of the psychology of what goes on in getting this young person, especially the women's side. You catch a lot more flies with sugar and honey than you do with vinegar. So when we're dealing, especially on the women's end, 2 pats on the back before you kick them in the butt, So you've got to make sure that it's about approval. And you keep giving them approval, and all of a sudden, if you know what you're doing, at least from a structural standpoint, they start hitting the ball pretty good. And, once they get going on a little bit, then all of a sudden you can interject all those things. Because they understand core body movement. They understand, and they're not stupid, these people, especially these young ladies today. They know what's going on. And she brought up a good point, bringing people together. And you'll notice when you didn't talk to Travis yet, but you will. East High School and La Follette are 2 things. You've heard me talk about this 100 times. Well, now he has 4 young girls from each school already in the program, which is significant because they couldn't get a team together.
Can't field a team.
Now they get it, and she's bringing up what it is. It's fun and getting together, but then you can pick out the ones that are different. Because, yes, they want to have fun, but there's always there's the group that wants to win. That's what we're after.
Bobbi, one final question here from your perspective to a gal that may be listening, a young woman or somebody that is interested in picking up the game. What general advice would you give them about getting involved?
I think, if that young person or that young woman is wanting to just kind of dive in and do it. We just talked about having a group of people to want to do it with, and maybe that's the holdback, but there are young women that are playing, and especially now you see it a lot more. I feel like COVID kind of made golf a huge thing for all people, and there are young people and young females doing it. So I just say just take that leap of faith and play. It's a great game. It teaches you so much, and you get to be outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a great thing too.
Bobbi, thank you for your participation. Good luck this week at your tournament there.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Bobbi. Good to talk to you.
We'll be back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin right after this timeout.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect Radio Show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
Hi, I'm Sean Clary. When we started Clary Building Corp in 1978, quality, craftsmanship, and customer service were just how you did business. Those values and traditions are even more important today. No matter how you utilize your Clary building, we design, engineer, and manufacture everything in-house so we can back up the promise to deliver the building you deserve. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. Visit clarybuilding.com today. You'll be glad you did.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and us are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
We're back at TPC Wisconsin talking golf here in Madison, along with Mike Heller and Dennis Tiziani. And want to make this quick announcement. You have an opportunity to support the Golf Effect charity and at the same time play Wild Rock Golf Course in the Dells. It's a great course. The passes, we only get 60 a year, and they're going to go fast. All you have to do is let us know that you want them. Go to the golfeffect.org website and go on there. It'll be Wild Rock. You order your passes, you pay for them through PayPal, and they'll be sent to you by Cherokee. And Wild Rock, those passes are $60 a piece, which is a great rate for Wild Rock. I'm telling you that, especially as the summer progresses, they're going to be up $90 or more. So 60 and they're gone. Mike, you've played up there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. It's a fantastic track. Great place to go play.
And again, we've only got 60 passes, so you can be part of it if you'd like. Just go to thegolfeffect.org and order them through that website. Wild Rock, and we'll get them to you. And, guys, we're out of time. I don't know.
I know. I feel cheated because Dennis and I were talking about putting during one of the breaks, and now we're going to have to do a whole other show that has some of those elements into it because –
What did you learn?
Well, like the two –
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about it. So I played yesterday and played okay, and I had 29 putts. I only hit the driver 13 times. Why am I so what I love to do is walk over here and use the putting green,
Absolutely.
which will be soon.
Right.
And
about 25 seconds, guys.
I love working on that part of the game because I think it's the one that translates.
That is the game.
It is the game.
It's inside of that round that green. That's what it is.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to spend $300-400 on a putter
or
when you'll play $500 for a driver.
It's not the arrow.
Yeah, or it's somebody who teaches you how to use that piece of equipment.
Right. For Dave McCann, along with Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller, I'm Paul Brown, and happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope it was a good one for you. And we'll wrap it up here and hope you enjoy it. Come back again next Monday night. We'll be back to do it again. This has been Talking Golf at TPC, Wisconsin.
Very cool.
News Talk 1310 WIBA Madison. Available anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Download it now at WIBA.com.